downtown to Bathhouse Row. Gonna look for some people that I know. Where you gonna play? Well, I don't know. I'll be there soon, 'cause I'm gonna go. Buskin down Bathhouse Row, buskin down Bathhouse Row, buskin, where I'm gonna go, down Bathhouse Row.
It's a pretty strong wind out here today. The sun is shining mostly. It's a little bit cloudy, so I'm not getting 100% on my solar panels, but it's working out. I found Bellie. He was gone 13 whole days. I'm not going to sing it for you. I have this dumb song that I sing to him. I've been singing it to him for a year. I just made up this song about a year ago, and I just sing it to him sometimes. He seems to like it. I went over there after I came back from Lake Gray last weekend. Went back to the apartments, parked the truck, and started walking up and down the forest line, hollering his name. And I just started singing that stupid song over and over, and I did that for a good, 45 minutes. I must have looked like a total moron. Anyway, I just did it. I was just so desperate to find him. Nothing happened. And so I gave up and I went back in the truck. And I had the door open and I had these boiled eggs that I was going to eat, and took my egg outside and started to peel it, and I happened to look up and there was this tiny little shape in the distance near the forest line, and I thought, that's a cat. And so I started hollering, "Bellie, Bellie, Bellie," and I hear back, "Meow." Walking towards him, hollering his name, and he started hollering at me, and as I got closer, he freaked out and he went back in the woods. He just sat there crying, "Meow, meow, meow," while I was hollering his name and pleading with him to come out and singing his song. And I got that egg and I smashed it, and I thought, here's smelly egg, maybe you'll want to come and eat that. It did seem to make him meow louder, but he still wouldn't come out. So I ran back to the truck to get a can of tuna, and I brought that over and opened it, and I started pouring tuna water along the woods close to where he was at, and that made him meow really loud, but he still wouldn't come out. And then I kind of lost, I dropped the can and I couldn't find it because it was getting dark at this point. I just took a couple of extra steps in there, and I reached down and I got a hold of him and grabbed him by his, got a hold of him and popped his flea collar off, but I didn't let go of him. And he was so freaked out, I was afraid to let go of him. I was afraid he would run back in the woods, so I just brought him back to the truck and put him inside and shut the door. And he's covered in brambles, which are mostly gone now, but he's so skinny. He's so skinny and very skittish, more skittish than he used to be. He sleeps with me now, which he used to wouldn't sleep with me. Now he's all over me, and every couple of hours he'll wake me up meowing at me and licking my face. So I guess he's glad to be home. Next morning in the daylight, I went back and I found his flea collar. He doesn't really have any fleas, so the flea collar works pretty good. But I got my baby back. It's just awesome to just sit here and let the wind just come over you, or to get out into the water and there's big waves from the wind. I really like that. I'm doing a little video where I'm showing you how to make some rice in the rice cooker when you don't have your insert, maybe. I don't know if that happened to you, but it happened to me. We'll see how it works out. Yeah, today is me and Bellie's anniversary of 1 year since I brought that little fur ball home. If you would, please like and subscribe and share the channel. I have new products where I took the logo that I made in screen print and I put it on some Teespring shirts. I really like the leggings. The leggings look really cool. And I'd love it if you would check those out. It's kind of in honor of getting Bellie back and our first year anniversary, and I wanted to share those with you. And if you'd like to help me out, support, you can pick up a shirt or pair of socks, or those leggings are really awesome. Bellie, Bellie. Well, I wanted to do this video outside, but the wind is blowing really, really hard today, and that's scaring the crap out of poor Bellie here. But I wanted to show you, here he is. He's skinny, but he's back. Also, today, June 21st, is our anniversary. It's been 1 year since I brought home this tiny little fluff ball and brought him to my camper life. So, say hi, Bellie. Happy anniversary. Well, I'm not sure if I told you the story or not about how when I was at Lake Meyers that one day I had made something in my crock pot. I mean, not my crock pot, my rice cooker. It's the rice cooker right there. I had made something in the rice cooker. It may have even been something I showed you in a video, I don't know. And my little rice pot, you know, it had an aluminum insert pot. And I got lazy one day, and after I had emptied my rice pot, I guess I didn't feel like washing the dishes right away, or else got stuck on stuff on it. I don't remember specifically, but I filled it up with water and I left it sitting on the ground along with my crock pot, soaking next to the water spigot at the campsite. The next day when I went to go, and I forgot and left them overnight, and the next day when I went to go and get them and wash the dishes, I found that while my crock pot was still sitting there, the insert to my rice cooker was gone. And I traipsed all over the woods looking and hoping that I would find it, but apparently the raccoons took off with it and it's gone. And so I've been to several thrift stores, and I've been on Amazon asking for a replacement. It's the Aroma. See there, the Aroma rice cooker. It's the fancier rice cooker. I've been looking for alternatives. So I was at the Dollar Tree yesterday, and I found this package. They had a whole lot of different shapes and sizes of aluminum pans. I thought I would give it a try anyway. So I took one of these out, and it had a little bit of a lip on it, so I just used my fingers to, you know, straighten it up a little bit, and it fits down in there. Of course, it's not, you know, as tall as a whole rice pot, so I'd want to be real careful about how much I actually put in there. But once I get that in there, my steamer basket also fits, mostly. I mean, it's kind of funky, but it fits. So I can still cook something and then steam something. Not that I don't really have anything to steam today. It's really more for like meat or fresh vegetables or something, and I don't have either of those. But I do have some rice, and I wanted to make some rice in my rice cooker and see how this works. So we will find out. So I like to use this ladle when I'm scooping out of my this rice container. And the reason for that I don't just pour it out, is because this particular rice, I found this on Amazon. It's yellow rice, Spanish style, and it's got seasoning just randomly mixed in there. Sometimes you'll see clumps of it. There's like little minced mushrooms, I think, and maybe other vegetables. Anyway, so I like to get in there and stir it around and scoop up a nice scoop, so I make sure I get a good mixture I mean, this is just my preference. So I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to measure out. So 1 scoop is almost a half a cup. I want a little more than that. So that's probably too much. I'm having a hard time reading that. That looks like 3/4 of a cup. So that would be a cup and a half of water, which might be a little too much for this. Maybe not. It's gonna be all right. So then I'm going to add, I'm going to spread that around and make it nice and even. I'm going to add a cup and a half of water. So this is white rice, so I'm going to double the water. So that's actually 2 cups. So I put in about a cup and a half. There we go. That pretty much filled it up. And that ought to work out nicely. Stir that up a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to pick up the camera and let you get a gander at how full that is. See? Yeah. You can see the pan is down in there. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to push white rice. You can see now it's working. You can see how that's just doing this little spin around thing. Once that gets to the point where it's almost done, it'll change to a number and start a countdown of minutes. And when it gets done, we'll do a reveal and see how it turned out. Alrighty, well, I wanted to show you this. The rice cooker timer finished, and it seemed to me like it really wasn't on very long. So I don't know if this is an issue with the pan I'm using, but it timed itself out and it finished, and it's still just some reasonably warm water and uncooked rice in there. I guess what I'm going to do is just turn it back on and we'll just see what happens. "10 minutes, and then I opened it up and it was just a hard, rice in some warm water. So what I did then is I pushed the steam button. See here, there's a steam button, and then I just set the timer for 20 minutes. Now it's getting there, but it's still very wet, and the rice is not entirely done. It's almost edible. So you have to start it over. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to push the steam button. Give it another 15 minutes. Hoping that'll work. So I'm going to give this another 15 minutes to cook. Should be done by then. Alright, well, time is up on the 15, and finally it is done. Just perfectly done rice. Yep. So a little trial and error, but it worked out. I was a little concerned that, I spent like $40 on this rice cooker. So, I was a little concerned that it was now useless if I couldn't find an insert for it. But I've salvaged it. So there you go. Nice little portion of rice there. Cooking in the RV when you're poor. little while ago, I was floating in the water. There was no one here. You can hear there's boats and stuff, but there's a lot of people here now, but a little while ago there was no one here. And I was floating in the water, and I looked up in the sky, and I could see 6 or 7 birds flying up above me. And they weren't like flapping their wings. They were just soaring, but they weren't moving anywhere because the wind was blowing. You can see the wind's blowing in it. And I watched those birds for a while, and they pretty much stayed right in kind of the same spot. They didn't even really move around at all because the wind was blowing so much. And they just floated there, hovered really on the wind current, their wings outstretched. And it reminded me of a Bible verse that I don't think I fully understood. That you shouldn't worry and you shouldn't toil, because even the birds, even the flowers don't toil, and look at how God has clothed them and how He feeds them, and they don't worry and they don't toil. And I've never fully understood that. I mean, obviously the flowers don't do anything, but I've never fully understood that, bringing the birds reference into that scripture, because I thought, birds do toil. They sometimes, they have to go out and search for food, and they have to, sometimes they have to fight another bird for a mate, and sometimes they have to fight a predator for their nest, for their eggs, and sometimes they have to, defend their nest. Sometimes they lose their nest, and as hard as they defend it, you imagine there'd be some emotional turmoil about that if a predator gets them. Sometimes they are fighting a predator, sometimes they're running from a predator, so what I'm saying is, it's not just happy-go-lucky every day. But I was laying there, and I was floating in the water, not a soul anywhere, and those birds were above me, and they were soaring on this wind current for, 25, 30 minutes. They're just floating up there. And all of a sudden I got it. And you hear people tell you that you need to live in the moment, and I always thought, okay, that's great for right now, but what about later? Later I have to plan things. I have to get things done. But it just hit me that right now I don't have to plan anything or get anything done. I'm lying in the lake, floating in the water, with birds above me that don't have to plan or get anything done in this moment. And so I think maybe for the first time in my life, I put myself just in that moment. And I just enjoyed the water, and I just enjoyed the birds above me, and I didn't plan, and I didn't toil, and I didn't struggle. And it may be the closest thing outside of, watching my children that I have come to joy, especially in the last 18 months since I've been in the camper. Sometimes it's not all that great, especially when you're alone. On the other hand, I watch other people fighting here at the campground. Somebody was having a fight yesterday, and I was thinking, it's nice to not have to worry about that. But being alone all the time, it's stressful. But for a little while today, I learned how to be in the moment, and I recommend that you try it. Peace. I'm Victoria.
I say, yeah, I put a 20 in my tip jar. I know where I'm headed now. When I'm done, I'll take a big old bow. Ow, ow. Find a penny, pick it up. All the day you'll have good luck. Pennies won't get me where I need to go. Say, hey, legal girl, you'll go far. I say, yeah, put a 20 in my tip jar. Buskin down Bathhouse Row, buskin down Bathhouse Row, buskin is where I'm gonna go. Down Bathhouse Row, buskin down Bathhouse Row, buskin down Bathhouse Row, buskin where I'm gonna go. Down Bathhouse Row.